Today we're going to walk you through a client build that we just finished up. These clients actually ran into one of our camper vans out in the wild, and after getting a quick tour, they decided they had to have one of their own. So let's go ahead and take a look. So this camper is built into a 2025 extended Ford Transit with a high roof. And as you can see, there's a few external features we just want to go through first. Starting with this Weston HDX grill guard. So this grill guard is specifically requested by the client. It's really heavy duty and adds a really nice look to the vehicle. Now moving on, over on the side of the vehicle, you can start to see some of the Rover products we included. On the back of the van, we have the Rover Vans tire carrier and ladder combo for Ford Transit. And along the side of the build, we have the Ford Transit 148 Rover running boards. And up top, we have the Ford Transit 148 extended Rover roof rack. And on that Rover roof rack, we're able to install two 200-watt solar panels and a carefree electric awning, which comes out with a simple flick of a button. And also on top of the van, you'll see we included a Max Air fan unit, a Dometic AC unit, and a Starlink system, so they can stay connected wherever they go. Now, an important thing to mention is what we did to beef up this van. So we have Method wheels, BF Goodrich tires, and a Quigley 2-inch Q-lift. We're partnered with Quigley Motor Company and are the only authorized installer of the Ford Transit Q-lift system in Canada. And the Q-lift system is a great lift kit because it maintains your Ford manufacturer warranty. Now, besides functional additions, there's a few aesthetic ones on this van as well. So the clients had us add a few wraps onto the vehicle, including this stripe up top, which is just a really nice accent, and a few wraps for their business on each side of the vehicle. But let's go ahead and take a look at the floor plan inside. So these clients went with the Rundle floor plan to start their build. The Rundle is our mid-range camper. It is great for getting everything you need inside of a camper into a more compact package. So the first thing I want to highlight is actually the color combo that these clients went with. They went with our Hawaiian blue, a white accent, and our colonial stained bamboo, which just really made a striking color combo I haven't seen in a build before. Now, the first thing you are going to actually really notice in the driver's side of the van is this seating area here. So what we have here is our broad arrow seat. The broad arrow seat lets you add an extra passenger to your van, and in conjunction with the swivel seats up front and this roto table here, this turns into a sitting area that can fit 3 people. Now, besides seating an extra passenger, this broad arrow seat can also transform into a bed. And in other Rundle floor plans, if you don't need an extra passenger and just want a comfortable sitting spot, you can replace this with a bench. And that bench can open up extra storage options for you, or move other areas of the van around, like you can put a toilet under there if you want. It sucks not to have a view while people are traveling with you, so we have a broad arrow window right here. Broad arrow windows are a great system. They have an insulated dual pane acrylic window. As an extra amenity for the sitting area, we have 12-volt outlets and USB plugs, meaning you can use this area to charge or work if you need to. And above all that, we have our upper cabinetry system. Now, this upper cabinetry is located throughout the entire van and just gives our builders an option to add extra storage throughout the van without taking up floor space. Now, speaking of storage, behind all that, we actually have this large cabinet unit here. And the main thing you're going to notice on it is this Vitrifrigo Slim 90 fridge. This fridge includes adjustable shelving and a freezer up top. And above that, we have an extra large storage cabinet just up here in conjunction with the uppers throughout the entire van. Now, to maximize this storage space, we also have a slide-out pantry unit right here. It lets you store all your dry goods without needing a giant deep cupboard that takes up a bunch of space. And with that space we saved, we're able to fit a toilet under here. Now, this van actually has a Clasana C1 toilet on a swivel base. It's probably the fanciest toilet system I've seen in a van before, and it's a fully electric system. So what it does is it seals up. Well, you know what it seals up. It seals it up and lets you take it out easily and dispose of it after use. So that pretty much covers everything on the driver's side of the van. Let's go ahead and hop over to the passenger side and take a look what's there. Over here is where we have our Galley unit. Now the Galley is a nice extended countertop with a flip-up table at the end, and on top here includes a true induction mini duo stove system and a Torva sink unit. The Torva sink is actually really fun, has this nice stowaway faucet right here that easily goes back in, out of the way. Below the sink, like in every sink in your house, you're going to have access to the plumbing. This gives you access not only to the plumbing, but also your gray water storage unit in this van, which is in a Comet jug. Just quickly unscrew that, toss it out, and dump it. Then in the rest of the van here, we have cabinetry on the rest of your galley, so you can store extra items here. And speaking of storage, there is upper cabinetry on the top, once again, like on the other side, and our electrical control panel for the EcoFlow electrical system in this van. The EcoFlow system is actually really easy to use. It's simplistic and intuitive, and just lets you control every system in your van with a simple click. And while we're on the topic of electrical, on the back of the Galley here, there's a drop-down table with a 12-volt outlet and USB slots, so you can use outdoor cooking equipment underneath the awning. So in the rear of the vehicle, we have our bed up top and our garage down below. So the bed itself can sleep someone up to 6 feet, and it's an east to west sleeping system. Now the way we got 6 feet out of an east to west sleeping position is by including EVO flares on the side of the van to give an extra 6 inches of sleeping room. You can easily access your Webasto heater right here on the Galley from the bed. And just to the right of the final reading light back there, you have lighting controls accessible for the rest of your build. Now, for those of you who have stayed in a camper van before know, getting in and out of some of these beds can be a little difficult. So we've actually included a step system built into our Galley right here. These steps are built into heavy-duty drawer slides. Since this build incorporates a fixed rigid bed, you have access to the garage space underneath. What I want to point out first is the pass-through at the front of the garage here that gives you access to the garage from the front of the van. Now coming in, you're going to notice L-track along the flooring here. There's a bunch of different options you can include in the garage, including pull-out drawers, but they went with L-track, and they can use that to store bicycles and stuff underneath here. On the driver's side of the van, we have our EcoFlow electrical system. And like we said before, the access control panel for the EcoFlow is up front of the van there. Now in this van, there's actually a few ways to charge this system. We have the alternator when your van's running. We have a shore power plug-in at the side of the van, and then the two 200-watt solar panels up top. Now on the driver's side, we have our pressurized water system, which funnels water to everywhere you need it in the van. In other Rundle floor plans, you can replace that pass-through with a Tetravan shower, which will also run off of this system. But in this build, they just simply went with the outdoor shower that you can see here. Back to the driver's side, we have a 12-volt outlet over here and some more USB plugs. You can plug in some more outdoor cooktops out here and use them with the pod lights up top just to light the outdoors in case you're in dark. On the driver's side door and on the passenger side rear door, we have our Van Essentials storage kit. These are great if you don't want a window in the back of your van, and they just add a bunch of extra storage into your vehicle, and some of it's accessible from your bed. So that covers this build. We hope you enjoyed watching and got all the info you needed. If you need any more info, check out the links below for our build and price tool and the build page for this specific van.